cheeks and build a smile and just show your teeth. When things get worse and you feel bad, just show your teeth. There's just no point in being sad. Just show your teeth. A healthy grin will make you perky. Let them think you're being quirky. Puff those cheeks and build that smile and just show your teeth.
We're here today interviewing Dr. Tanya Gold, who is a doctor of what?
Integrative medicine and family medicine.
Integrated. Then what's the laughing about?
So we can kind of think of it in the contrast. If you think of somebody who's upset, what happens to them? They can, when you feel sad, your whole body can just shut down, if you will. And we see a lot of people who are depressed, anxious, worried, and what that leads to in their bodies. It usually leads to illness. So the philosophy is if stress or feeling sad can lead to illness, can the opposite lead to wellness? And that's what they're actually finding. Through laughter, it's almost an instant vacation. You can feel better. And they're actually doing studies on the immune system, looking at our anatomy just to see what happens to our blood vessels. It increases oxygen to the brain, to the rest of the body.
Wow, it's like laughing aerobics?
Exactly.
Yeah. I did see your videos on YouTube where you were doing some laughing exercises. Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Yeah. They call it internal jogging.
Internal jogging?
Yes.
I've heard that word. Yeah. So this laughter therapy that you do, you're writing a book about this, or this is part of the book? Is the whole book about the laughter thing?
It's on the benefits of laughter. So we're actually, and now when I'm going to differentiate, because there is laughter that can be hurtful. So we think of laughter that's political or racist or demeaning, fat jokes. That's not what this is about. It's not about hurtful or cruel laughter. Mm-hmm. It's on therapeutic. So this is upbeat. This is the laughter when you're with a baby and they're just smiling and happy, and you're smiling because you're with them. That contagious or infectious laughter that helps build up a person.
That feel-good laughter.
The feel-good laughter.
The negative laughter is just like bad words, right?
Exactly.
All right. Now, the working title of your book is what?
It's Seriously. Because I feel in our society we're taking life way too serious. Uh-huh. And it's a time to become more lighthearted, be feeling good about life and enjoying ourselves, celebrating life.
Now, are there actual exercises in this book people can do?
Yeah.
Or?
Mm-hmm. So there's going to be 3 sections, and the third part is on how to actually laugh, how to bring more laughter in your life, even if you don't feel like laughing. So this is not about denying your emotions. You have every right to feel the way you do. You're actually choosing to feel better so you can improve the quality of your life.
It sounds like people can make decisions whether to be well or not.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what they're finding. It's a whole new industry, if you will, or a new subject in medicine called neuroimmunology. And this was actually studied by Norman Cousins. He was a professor at UCLA looking into this. And Lee Burke and all the people that are looking into humor, they're finding the mind-body connection. And we know this with yoga. We know this with a lot of different mind-body practices, that the body can heal itself when it starts in the mind. If you believe you can get better, many times you can. But if you believe you really can't do anything about it, it's fatal, I'm going to die in 3 months, most likely you will. And we know there's lots of stories of people making it past the prognosis of you only have a few months to live, and they're living 5 years, 10 years later.
Right. So just to clear something up for the viewers, it's not magic, but it's
not
real.
At all.
I mean,
this is not hokey pokey or woo woo. It's actually science. They're actually looking at what's actually they're studying is cortisol levels. So when you actually laugh, and the difference between ha ha for a few seconds versus a therapeutic laughter, it's actually 20 minutes. Some of the studies show 10 to 15 minutes, but what I'm finding in some of the other studies, about 20 minutes of laughter continuously. You can take a breath, but continuous laughter,
right,
a period of 20 minutes can improve your health daily.
And how does this affect pain?
Right. It can actually reduce pain. We're finding it releases natural opioids. So what you would think of morphine and other things, your body has a natural endocannabinoid system. So I'm getting a little tech there, but basically what it is the brain kind of blunts that sensation of feeling pain. So when it gets blunted, you don't feel the pain that you will. About 50% reduction in pain in some of the studies that they've done.
How about that?
Yeah, so.
Now, do you have a release date for this book?
We are looking, it's probably going to be in January of 2019. So that's my goal to get it done. I'm on section 3 and I'm working on the section 1 and 2 now.
Now, the whole book about laughter is about other things as well.
It includes, for example, death and dying, which I've had some people ask, how do you include that in a book on laughter? But it includes normal things that happen in life and how we can include laughter. And I'll give an example. We were at my grandmother's funeral. Most people were sad, of course, myself included. She was a wonderful person. I feel like, my goodness, she's no longer with us. But through laughter, it helps open perspective. So I realized that she completed her life like all of us will one day, unless you freeze your body or something. But the idea is that you share all the experiences that you've had with that person. Well, at the funeral, the priest asked, does anybody want to say any final words? So my uncle stood up. He said, I miss grandmother, I love her, all this wonderful things about her, and I'm going to miss her curry goat. We're from the Caribbean, so curry goat. And then and so you heard a little chuckle there, because she's always in the kitchen cooking. And then somebody else stood up, I'm going to miss her rice and peas. And then literally one by one, everybody started laughing after all these, like 10 people said all the different food dishes that she made. And it was so cathartic, it was such a release, so needed. And of course, by that time, we're all hungry anyway. So but knowing that it's okay to laugh even in the midst of sadness, because sometimes that's all you have. So when we hear tragic stories, there's another story of this woman, Immaculée, who actually went through the Rwandan genocide. And she was literally in this tiny bathroom. Her book is called Left to Tell. And you would think, my goodness, there's no way she should have hatred, and you can totally understand if she did, towards the perpetrators. But at the end, she actually forgave them. She went to them and said, I forgive you for murdering my family. And you may not agree with her, and I totally understand, but she's living her life to the fullest. So it's about forgiveness so you can free yourself. Because there are people that have gone through that tragedy are still suffering many years after. She's not. I mean, she still suffers in the sense of feeling, but she's not in pain. She's living her life to the fullest, smiling, laughing. And people are like, how could you do that after what you've been through? She said, I let go. And that's what laughter helps you do. It's let go and live in the present moment. Because at the end of the day, you can't control the past. You can let it control you. And if you do, how is that quality of life going to affect you?
Right.
And the next step to ask is, what would your family want for you, your quality of life? Do they want you to suffer, or do they want you to live life?
Right.
If they're not there anymore, how do they want you to live?
What other subjects does your book cover?
We include the Power Gals. So there are power lifters, and I know you're familiar with them. So your mom is one of the highlights. So Edith Trainer, she's 96 years old, and she started powerlifting at 91. I'll kind of preface where I came from with aging. My grandmother at 50 years old told me she was old, and she proceeded to stop all the wonderful activities she used to do that kept her young. She stopped exercising. She started going to doctors more, saying she needed more medications. And over that time, she became more and more demented and developed Alzheimer's. So I thought, literally 50 years old, which I'm almost there now, I'm going to be demented and, basically lose my mind and not be able to do things. So meeting these power gals, I realized there's another way to live. Most of them are active. They do not use canes. They drive. They participate in either volunteer activities or working. It's incredible. So for me, I realized no matter what age, the most important part is to never give up. And the second part of that is to always believe you can do something. You can't do everything, but we can always do something. And knowing that, what great gift that is to take yourself to that next level and do things you never thought possible. And the other part they're finding is bone density. So a lot of times as we age, our bones actually get weaker. Well, what they're finding is if you power lift, you don't have to slow that or weaken those bones. You can actually strengthen them. And we have one of the ladies, her bones were osteopenic, which means the weakening of the bones, and now they're actually stronger. They're in the normal range. And she hasn't been taking the medicines because of the side effects she couldn't tolerate. She's actually just doing the powerlifting, which has strengthened her bones. so into the normal range, which I didn't really know. I didn't know you can kind of reverse arthritis or osteoporosis or osteopenia. So
By powerlifting?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's kind of like you think that's it. There's no way. But I always thought, well, what about chiropractors? What's the point if your bones do build and break down? If they never changed, then what is the purpose of going to a chiropractor or somebody else if your body's kind of set at a set point? But it isn't. Your cells are constantly changing, your red blood cells. Think of bone, it's actually alive. It's a living entity, and it constantly is growing, breaking down, so you can get your bones stronger.
I didn't know there was a reversal of any kind for osteo. That's exciting.
I know, it's very exciting.
Yeah. Now, with your powerlifting, how long have you been involved in that?
About 2 years.
How did you get started doing it?
I was writing a book initially on the health benefits of aging, and it evolved to this book I'm writing now. And in my yoga class, I teach yoga, if anybody knew any healthy seniors. And one of my students said, you need to speak to this woman, Edith Trainer. And by the way, she turned down the doctor's show. I said, well, she's never going to talk to me. But she said, no worries. She'll talk to you. She knows, you know her daughter, Honey. And I was like, oh. So we had a mutual person in common, and I called her. She said, do you want to meet at the Golden Corral? I said, no, I want to meet you at the gym. She said, okay. So I met at the gym with my office manager with a camera. We took some pictures, took some videos, and I complimented her at the end, and Edith said, well, that's very nice you're complimenting, but instead of complimenting me, why don't you join me? I was like, okay, I never thought of it. And I said, I'm, in my early 40s, is that okay? She said, absolutely. Talk to Coach. He said, fine. And that's how it started. And if you actually told me several years ago I'd be powerlifting, I would have laughed at you and said, you're great. I thought the big burly guy, even seniors powerlifting, I was like, no way. I actually told them not to do it, my seniors, because I was like, they're going to hurt themselves. So I tell my senior patients not to do this before. Because I thought if you try to lift too heavy, you can hurt your bones or your muscle. We're finding the opposite is true. If you train appropriately with the right coach, you can strengthen your bones, your muscles get stronger and stronger.
Your coach is Bill?
Bill Beakley.
Bill Beakley.
Yeah, and he's a power lifter as well. He's wonderful. He's strong, very, very strong, and he works, for it, but we all do. And that's one thing you have to do. If you want to get strong, you have to do some activity. You have to put forth the effort.
Does Bill tailor these workouts to the age or physical ability of these?
Absolutely. And they've been injured. So we've had people who had strokes. We've had people with rotator cuff tears. They've been in car accidents. Wherever you're at, who works with you. So a lot of them start in Silver Sneakers.
What is Silver Sneakers?
Oh, Silver Sneakers is a program for seniors, typically free or very low cost, that they offer at the YMCA or various gyms. I think it's offered through Medicare, I believe. Anyway, it's a government entity, and people are able to use this to work out. It usually starts with just very simple exercises, maybe TheraBands or light weights. But the nice thing is he kept excelling the ladies to work with heavier weights. And I should add, too, there is a male division, too.
There is?
Yeah. So the men's division is usually they train on Saturdays. I don't know if they have during the week, but I know they have different places that they train at. So when I first started, I just did the bar. I mean, I literally lifted 10 pounds for 10 years. And you're not going to get stronger if you're doing the same thing over and over. Again, if you're not stressing or challenging those muscles, you're not going to get stronger that way.
Yeah. Now, that's not for everyone. If somebody's doing therapy or something, maybe they do need to stay.
Of course.
Okay.
If your muscles you're already healed, because I've had one lady, she was told never to lift more than 10 pounds. Again, her accident was 30 years ago.
Right.
She's like, I have to lift up dog food. I like, do you ever lift? She's like, of course. I said, did you tear anything? She's like, no. So now she's working out with Bill. Gradually, she's up to like 40, 50 pounds, but she's fine. Her bones are stronger than ever. She's gone to the doctor. He's like, you're doing fine. Keep it up. So you have to use a common sense approach as well.
Do you compete with the...
I do. I'm not in the same age group. But
right. Obviously. Yeah. So where are you now?
I think the last time he got me up to like 170.
That's terrific.
Yeah. So it's getting up there. I, again, never thought I could do that.
Who is this for, this lifting, powerlifting? It's any senior, anybody?
Anyone can do it. So there's different competitions. There are senior games, so those are mainly for age groups 50 and up, men and women. And there are powerlifting competitions for all age groups. And I think they start as young as 10 years old. You can correct me with Bill. But yeah, he usually says you can start as a youngster. Before, they used to think weight training was not good for kids, but they're actually finding it helps strengthen their muscles and bones. As long as you're not overdoing it, you strength train appropriately with the kids, but they're actually getting stronger and doing better in sports.
Right. Now, for older people or senior citizens,
yes,
powerlifting, as long as what qualifications do you need for it? You got to be able to walk in, or?
So a few things. I think with Bill, and again, I would talk with him just to make sure, but the idea is a clean bill of health from your doctor that you can stand. If you're going to do a deadlift, you don't want to be falling over before you even lift the weight. And the second part is, what can you lift already? We don't always think about going to the grocery store, but what are we actually lifting? If you have pets, animals, you're gardening, some people are already lifting 10, 20, 30 pounds. They just don't think about that. Or if you're getting bottles of water and stuff like that. So if you're lifting those already, are you able to do it first, or are you falling? And if you're not able to do it, what can you start doing? So say you really can't lift that. Can you lift a water bottle? Can you lift 2 water bottles now? So gradually, again, wherever you're at. So some of them he doesn't start, if they're just beginning, he won't start them doing the deadlift. He'll actually just start them do some strength training. So he'll start with a band or something like that, and then gradually up that from there.
All right, so for people who live locally, Bill's a good guy to go to.
Oh, he's wonderful.
People who are watching this who don't live locally, find somebody like Bill.
You just need an experienced coach. It's fine to ask their experience, how long they've done this, and use your judgment. If they're asking you to lift something that doesn't make any sense, you've never done it, and you don't know, they're not showing you technique or anything, it's always okay to get somebody who has that information. But if they've done it and you're familiar, and some people have weightlifted before, they just stopped, it's okay to get back into it, but do it under the guidance, I think, of a coach to help you, or a trainer who's experienced and knowledgeable.
How about the social aspect of it?
Oh, it's wonderful. So this is the one group that I have so much fun. We play music, we sing, we dance, we tickle each other, we just goof around, but in a safe way, not with the weights or anything, but just when we're waiting, because a lot of times there is downtime. You lift for a few seconds, but the great part is it's so much a good exertion for that power of time. You're strengthening those bones and muscles. Then you have downtime. So you lift for about 6 seconds and then you're done.
So what seems like work, you've turned into fun.
Yes.
And you get a physical benefit and an emotional and a mental benefit from it.
Absolutely. So personally now I go because of the ladies. I love to hang out with them. They're one of my good, great friends, and we talk. One thing I've noticed too, they don't complain. I rarely hear about all the problems. They just tell me what's good things that are going on. Doesn't mean they don't tell me any, bad things, but for the most part, it's all about good things going on, and we cheer each other on very enthusiastically, and we're all about helping each other. So it's really a team effort. I remember when I'm a runner in the past, and I still run here and there, but not as much. So competitive runner growing up, it was all about beating the other person or winning, being the best. And I remember us being so competitive even with the people on the team. So that was, even in workouts, we were always kind of racing each other. And it was more stressful for me. Here, I don't feel that as much.
This sounds like a more supportive environment than a competitive environment.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anything else you'd like to add for the senior folks watching this? Because we're trying to encourage more people to become aware of powerlifting for seniors.
Don't be scared. I would just show up. Don't feel that the first time you go to a practice, you have to do anything. Just watch. Edith showed up the first time. She just wanted to check it out, see what the people are doing. Talk to the people. Ask them. They're real people. They're just like you and me. The only difference is they made a decision. They decided to try something. And it's always okay to say, can I try something new? Can I feel better? Is that, how do I want my life to be 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Because understand, if you don't strengthen your muscles, they're not going to get stronger. If you don't put good nutrition in your body, you're not going to feel better. And we have less reserve as we get older. So it's so, so important. We don't have that cushion we did in our 20s to exercise for a period and then take a break. Or even if you're feeling terrible, know that pushing yourself in a good way is actually going to reap more benefits for you, where you actually start to feel better. As long as you do it appropriately with the guidance, get some help doing it, and know that you're not alone. People care about you. They want you to succeed and feel better.
Okay. And this sounds like something you use in your practice, and not just for the powerlifters, but the whole attitude for this is part of your practice. And how do you encourage seniors to come to see you, or or any age?
Any age. I mean, I think anybody can improve their health. So that's why we, at our office, it's called Dr. Gold's Optimal Living Institute, because once you reach one level, guess what? There's another level to go to. So there's always another way to improve your health and feel better. Right. So why not feel awesome?
All right. So well, we'd encourage people to come to visit Dr. Gold. Do they have any pains? Any? I don't know. Does it transcend to emotional pain as well? I mean, people aren't feeling right in their head, or having thoughts they don't understand or don't want to have. They can stop in and talk to you and make an appointment. And what's your location?
So we're in Tampa, but I do telemedicine. So if you are in a distance, so in Midwest or local, not in Tampa, Florida, where I'm located, we can still work with you. I usually can't prescribe medicine if you're out of the state, but I can give a consult. And then we also help you to start with the belief system of seeing yourself going in a healthy direction. So if you're sick, you say there's no hope, I don't feel like I can get better, we work on where that's coming from, but also channeling it into a new direction if you want to get better. I can never force you to do something, but my goal is to help get your health to that next level so you feel great. We don't want you to keep coming back unless you need to, or maintenance, but our goal is to keep you well long term.
Great.
And empower you.
We want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
And wish you a lot of luck with your book.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, it's called. And I guess for folks that are viewing this, the message is, this is a good way to get up off the couch if you're looking to do that. For seniors, I'm talking about. Or even people who are not seniors, people who are coming home to watch TV or something.
Right.
Get up off the couch and get out on the other side of the door and make something happen, even if it's just this little thing in their life, right?
Yeah, small steps. And it can make a huge change, just little at a time. What Edith told me, and she was diagnosed with COPD a few years back, she actually was sitting in a recliner watching TV before she started powerlifting, and literally couldn't breathe. And she realized, if I just stay in this couch day after day after day, I'm gonna die here. I need to change. And she didn't want to live like that. She had grandchildren, children. She wanted to be there. So she basically started getting up. She said she forced herself to get out of the house. She got to Walmart and used a cart just to take some baby steps. But each day she made sure she got out, and then recognized that she needed to exercise. She started moving, and now she said she doesn't even know she has the symptoms of COPD. Every time she shows up, not always feeling great some mornings. You know, we have our aches and pains. That's normal for some people. But the idea is they're improved as she continues to move and take good care of herself. So that momentum can help you as well.
Yeah, sounds like keep going till you stop.
Exactly. When it's done, it's done. But why not live life to the fullest?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we thank you again, and have a great day.
Oh, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
And when it rains and you get wet, just show your teeth or